custom rig is not 100% achieved. Right? It was a long quest pet project of making a custom rig, and then maybe I want to make it available in tutorials. But because custom rigs are very nice, because yes, they are not very practical to make, but when they are the function they have, yeah, you can do whatever you, not whatever you want. There's certain limits, of course, of technology, but the technology is improvement. Maybe in the future, I don't know, 10 years from now, maybe. Now maybe it's 20 years from now, so the world still exists. So we can do a lot of peculiar things with custom rig, which those preset things just fill out. For example, facial expressions that are really nice, control rig that is really interesting. It's my case here because I'm using a rig that have a combination of call it rig skeleton. We can have some controls that are quite allows more flexibility in posing. There's even an Addon that proposed something like that, but it's sort of complicated. Rig on the Fly 2 is free. Rig on the Fly here, so it has interesting systems for this, but I don't use it. I just am aware that it exists. What it does is that it allows for a lot of things. It actually destroys the rig as it creates a new one. That's why rig on the fly, and that for some reason that solves a lot of rigging and animation problems for flexibility. But then the rig has a lot of the skeleton has to be very specific. We need to adapt to it. Like it's not the other way around. So it has. But I'm aware of some of it. Hello, Lucas. Welcome back. Your son is thanks for mentioning. Oh yeah, here. I think because I was making some. Sorry, yeah. Thanks for mentioning. Yeah, I was making some tests in other streams, and then I probably lowered the. I think now it's better, right? So welcome, bro. Okay, so we stopped here. I was doing some skirt for cloth, and maybe we can complete this. Oh, there's this high heel stance, which is high priority. Yes, maybe this is a good topic for today. Not on her, but on Dorothy. Okay. Yeah, so everything here is what is this? Oh yeah, this is the facial rig of the eyebrow that was testing. Okay, experimental stuff. Another custom rigged thing. So here we're gonna retake this skirt. We have a bone collection for. This is Bone Manager extension. It's free. It's inbuilt, and these are rig parenting collections that we're still trying to learn how to use them properly. It's complicated with the solo view, right? Because it stacks. It's weird. I find, but it works. Somehow it can be useful. So here we want, not here. We want just the costume. Oh, it was already here. Okay. So these are the Oh, I did that. Yes, I did this. I don't know. What is this? Oh no, this is for Dorothy, I guess. Okay, but that doesn't matter. What we need to do here is this skirt adaptation. So we're gonna wave paint this, right? We're gonna do this manually because no, let's use the. Sometimes it's crash. That's better. Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Let's go on layout. All right. So have more space here. What we need here is to get, first let's isolate this stuff with numpad \. I need to go on, let's see, the armature. There is an armature object, but it's not targeting. We're gonna target here, and that should already allows us to simplify. Okay, we don't want for wave painting the subdivision surface modifier. Where is the screencast keys? Yeah, here. Then I'm gonna save. We need to, let's see the name of these bones. They seem to be correct. Okay, it's skirt, no more than that. I was testing the way to have these things in a sort of, no, the side ones, these are diagonal ones, right? Oh no, I remember, these are the bands, so this is why this probably needs a different color, otherwise it's just too confusing. So we're gonna get them an alternative colors here that will make them easier to, yeah, so we're gonna get this and this, yeah. Then we shift alt X here, select mirror, extend. We're gonna, well, too late. We alright, so now we know that these are these bands which are actually part of the belt. Yeah, so we're gonna actually bring this, we're gonna rig them together, right? I can hide and unhide, but it's still locked to the local of this selection stuff, right? Selected stuff. So wave paint for this, so I don't have bones for here. This will use probably the body, right? The best thing here would actually be to transfer waves, but we don't have the body waves yet, so we're gonna skip that for now. It's not a good idea, but okay, I need to do this for the stream here. It's better. So we're gonna manual wave. No, we're gonna try to bring this to automatic waves. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll start with this belt. So we're gonna go here on wave paint mode. The belt needs also, yeah, to be connected. This might make that the parenting is not just doing this, won't make the parenting relation, you see. So what we do is we can parent both here to ideally do this for all armature deforms, so you don't create vertex groups. That will create empty groups. With empty groups, a lot of, so just armature deform, so they just have now the parenting relations, the correct one to the armature object, and plus they will have the thing that we already did, which is the target here. So two things that at least two things that those operators do. Now what we need to do is to, now we can go on wave paint mode, and in this Blender version we don't need to select the we don't need to select the something happened that the armature vanished, I don't know. Okay, here, so we just get here. Let's start with the belt control. Oh yeah, let's make a quick highlight here that should be useful. Basketball, move up. You're not seeing the chat here. Okay, no problem. Okay, so rigging, cloth, isolating. isolate mesh and armature objects for wave painting. Yeah, a lot of tricks here. Alright. So I'm gonna wave paint this. There's a bone collection here for this cloth, right? This is okay, and then we pick this and this, and then numpad \. Now these things are isolated. For the armature object, this is part of, we just hide this on edit mode and on pose mode as well, okay, for now. So now if I hide this and unhide, you see this is isolated because it's using local. This is the effect of numpad \. Okay, so now we're gonna here in this Blender 4.4.3 version, we don't need to select the armature, then shift select the mesh. No, just once the mesh object has the armature modifier with the correct target, then this is just enough that you just select the belt here, this, and go in wave paint mode, and the bones of that armature should be selectable. Well, they should, but for some reason they aren't. I don't know what's going on. Okay, here they are. Oh, I was on the, of course, paint mask here, even though there was no selection. Okay, so now we don't need to do this. It still works, but I think it's pointless now. It's a much better improvement. So here we need to go on this thing. We are gonna just pick this, and this. Shift Alt H. This is select mirror with extend, and now we are going to waves assign automatic from waves. And for some reason the skirt has vanished. No, it's because the mesh is hidden. Maybe that protected them. No, they didn't protect, so this is very weird. Anyways, and now we have a lot of problem, but what we can do is that we're gonna isolate some mesh here, like all these vertices. Yeah, they are separated mesh. So instead we're gonna select this, we're gonna invert, no, hold on, normal, okay, select all these vertices, then we're gonna do this. Alright, no mesh is hidden here, so we're gonna just go back to wave paint mode, and for oh, this is the wrong bones. Okay, so at least I think only is just for these bones, right? So this one we're gonna go here, which 1, 2 and 3, right? We can double press 1 or 2 to change that, and 3 is just the little bone here, is for selecting bones. It's bad swapping, but whatever, it works. So I'm gonna use this, set wave to 0, it's right mouse button click, and then Control X, which is set wave to 0 for everything. So we just clean this. Now because I have a mirror modifier, we can go here. You see, that should have been fixed. Here we're gonna use a smooth, it's my quick favorite. Then there are some options here, and I'll just leave default for this case. At this point we could go on this, and maybe we invert here, Shift H, so isolate just this. So now we can just, I'm gonna pick my graphic palette. This is very good for this kind of texture work. So here we're gonna do just some adjustments manually, so don't need the mask anymore. You see, it's because mirror modifier we cannot paint that, so that is all set. So here I think let's paint more of here, and then we're gonna probably don't want these waves here. Hold maximum, hold control, take off these waves, and here we're gonna just blur around here. Here I'm not sure because we have a bone, so we're just gonna shift space paint, which is the brush. That should do. Then I think this has a solidify modifier. Yeah, so it's just one single, it's just faces, right? They don't wrap around themselves. Change bone, take off these waves. Same here. Maximum waves here. Possibly because it's the central one. Yeah, we're gonna just reduce these waves a little, despite the auto normalize. Let's test here. Yeah, it looks horrible. Yeah, maybe we need to smooth. So we're gonna use for this one some smoothing. Yeah, it looks a little better. This doesn't have the subdivision surface modifier, right? Yeah, so this is a little better now. Okay, then we pick the last one. We're gonna do this, and then maybe, yeah, so for this one we reduce here about. There are many ways to wave, so I don't use auto normalize. Usually I think there is good workflow for that, but it's not mine. I'm not used to. Here now, instead of blurring, we're just gonna pick, because this is a very analytic mesh sort of, so we're just gonna do this very regular stuff, and there we go. So this is the mix, right? Mix blend allows us to, whichever wave we got here would be the wave that will be painted. So this is very, very precise. Also I have the option, the extension, which is easy waves, and there is a fundamental waves that you need here, option that you need here. It is for wave painting. This is the ultimate technique for the time being. It's totally necessary, absolutely, because it's fixed auto clean, always auto clean. So this option is the ultimate, currently the ultimate standard that no one talks about. This is like fixes a vanilla Blender, right, default Blender bug that exists on the, not a bug maybe, but an inconsistent thing in the waves, how they work. It's something about the vertex groups. I think I have some highlight about this. Yeah, I have published. So this is absolutely fundamental. And so we need this to wave paint those things. And now let's check this. We can use, yeah, yeah, look how good this is. So this is working, but there is a problem with those vertices there. I haven't thought about this. I need to pin those vertex on the, so we're actually just gonna wave those vertices here with the rest of the belt, so it will be like something like, I'm gonna hide this, I'm gonna select this, and now we can, yeah, I don't have belt bones, or this will actually will be wave paint to the body, yeah. So we sort of need to gonna stabilize this by getting the ratio of this wave paint, the wave paint ratio of these vertices to be competing with the rest of the, with the body, right? So easier said than talked than explained, yeah, easier demonstrated than explained. So we gonna skip this because I don't have, unfortunately, the body waves yet, and we are going to go for the skirt, which this would be the nightmarish thing. And I'm not sure exactly how, probably what we're gonna use is that we're gonna bind those bones with some bone constraint to the leg rig, right, to the leg, the skeleton. And we could already do this, the deform rig actually, yeah, not the control rig, so we need this skeleton. So we could probably make this setup that use some sort of automation, not for these bones, but actually for the side ones. These maybe too, this probably will follow. You see, I don't have bones in the center, so this would probably be necessary because it will be a diagonal. But it's not clear, it's not sure that I would need that, because I'm thinking that physics, yeah, physics would solve, provide there would be collisions. This is just too much pain. So let's ignore these bones for now. Let's hide the skeleton. We're not gonna do the setup that they can be combined, right? If we just skin the skirt with the body, maybe this should be do like 60% of the job, but incorrectly, right? Even I think even if the skirt, even if the leg, the hips thigh joint is perfectly rigged with anatomically features, even if that impossible thing, nearly impossible thing was achieved, the skirt will still require probably some specifics for itself, right? Because it needs to bend in some specific ways. So we can use physics, of course. Physics will help this small results. But okay, let's do some automation now for this. I probably would need so there's this strange idea. What about having more of this going all the way there, right? So currently they are inverted. I think this is incorrect. We're gonna make some change here because I found that this wasn't a good idea. So this is slightly experimental. We are going to, you see there are some bone constraint here. We are gonna ignore them. Yeah, I'm gonna Control Alt C all that. We're gonna see the orientations. Yeah, we're gonna invert here. There's also something interesting we could do. So we're gonna Alt F this all together. Now they keep the parenting, right, between themselves, but the parenting here is broken. We're gonna connect. All right. There's a disconnection here. This is weird. We're gonna connect this here. Maybe we need a splitting here. Yeah, interesting problem. All right, and then we are going to, let's see this. All right, so what we're gonna do here is that maybe we invert this, and now we're gonna, okay, so this is individuated like that. Okay, I have this. Oh, I don't have this. That's why. Huh. All right, bad things happen. We're gonna delete all this. They were messed up. No, not these ones though. This one should be hidden. Okay, delete this. We're gonna just resymmetrize these ones. Oh, now you need to take this off in order to delete. Just one side. Something not allowing me to select. Oh, okay. There we go. So gonna symmetrize. Now we enable this. Okay. Now this should fix that problem, right? Okay. So see, now this we can push the contraption So we need to complete here. So this is the problem now, is that we might have to pick some bone here. So the problem is here we cannot parent it here, but what we can do is actually, yeah, this will leave it without parent. Okay, this has no parent, but we're gonna use a bone constraint for it. We're going to copy location. You see that, alright, wrong one. Copy location, and okay, then we're gonna make some changes here. Local space, local space, local space, local space. Not working. Okay, let's do pose spaces on the tail. There. Okay, but this turns into F key, so this is not, like, it's not automated. Like, for example, this is a limitation, but what we can do, unless I had 2 bones, but then we'll not actually, yeah, won't be sufficient. So anyways, thinking about problems. So here we're gonna, for example, if I parent this here, keep us connected, right? Alright, so you have this. Oh, this turns into F key anyways. Oh, alright, so it's just that we can do this instead if it's not oh, I see. Okay, so we can actually do the following in this case. We can yeah, we're gonna use this, then we're gonna duplicate this, and we're gonna do like 0.5. Actually, the technique was actually, okay, we're gonna start with this one. Wrong. And then end with this one. So it will be, this will be half influence. So this will steal half of the what comes before. And so in this way, I think, no, it's not working. Okay, so yeah, it overlaps, so we would need some okay, I'm gonna just reuse here. I'm gonna use the mix. Oh no, this is actually for the mix thing is for the copy transform, so maybe we need a copy transforms. I hate this copy location. Alright, this setup doesn't work. What is missing here? Okay, I'm gonna try this. Nothing happens. Okay, then we... Oh, it's disabled, of course. No, nothing happens. Okay, so we're just gonna use local space. Local spaces. Nothing happened. What's going on with? Oh, it's been over. Okay, no, that's still nothing. Local with parent, maybe? No. Ah, here, local with parent. No. Ah, I was testing the. Okay, so. Okay, so now it has some influence. We need to. Yeah, let's just work with the back one for now. The back, yes. So this is the testing. We need to. Okay, so you see this is working. It's just not doing enough job for some reason. Very mysterious behavior. Let's maximize influence. We're gonna change here to custom space. We're gonna copy the armature and this. Okay, it's annoying to set up, but okay, and notice this custom space doesn't work, and for some reason this works. Double custom space, and this also works, and it starts displays with the rotation. Aha! So this very interesting. So what this custom space is using is saying that it wants the pivot point, the reference of the tail of the I never knew this technique with the copy location. So that is actually very, very interesting. Let's get a highlight inside the unfinished highlight, or maybe it's just a follow-up. So copy location bond constraint with double custom space. There's nothing special about this actually, but it works. That's interesting. Maybe there's a better thing here. So this bond has a copy location. This dual bond custom space target and owner here combo. Then we get the same options here. They actually use the same stuff, and this for some reason will do this. So this bond here is snapping to the tail of as a pivot point reference, right? But it's just for so if we use the local space here, you see we have some displacement. Same with local space with owner orientation, so this doesn't really work. So we need double custom space. This can work. There will be other ways, but copy transforms is much better, but then it copies the rotations. Maybe we don't, and the scale, maybe we don't want that. So now we're gonna shift D this entire setup. We're gonna bring this to the because there is not the mix blend mix stuff for the transform, so we're gonna target now this one, and so now this will be a substitution, right? This is why the mix is important. So here I'm not sure I'll be able to achieve this, but we can at least achieve something that has this kind of regulated reference, right? Yeah, so it will be offset. I think can't really do the job, right? It doesn't substitute the mix. So here I'm in a dead end. I don't really know how to solve this with the copy location bone constraint, but you see we can what's happening now. This will be 0.5, right? So it's stealing not the waste but the location transforms, right? It can have only one, which is not true actually, because we can have additive stuff. So this thing required some additive, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn this off and gonna make instead the additive copy transforms mix before original. So gonna here we can use local space. I think that will be sufficient. So now we have on the tail okay, so we need the custom space apparently. Front, alright. For some reason it wants to be because it has no parent right now. Yeah, this is going crazy. This for some reason doesn't work. It needs a parent, right? So let's make a bone exactly in the center there. With this orientation, then we're gonna change its color to same as this one. Oh no, actually we're gonna make it like this color, this other color. We're gonna just gonna make it like this. So we're gonna pick this bone actually and parent it there. No, with keep offset. Well, the fact that it has a parent doesn't actually help in this case. Why my copy transforms is failing? This never fails. Maybe I did something wrong. Oh, of course. No. Of course not. It's not connected, so no, it's free to move. So it should be moving, right? Let's it should have nothing to do with the okay, copy. So okay, this is pose space, all right. Let's try this first. Let's use it's something about the interaction. This is crazy. The interaction of the auto IQ option with the, you see, no, maybe not. Let's do something. Disconnect parent. Yes. Oh yes, I got it. I got the idea. What's happened is because since it's not parented, it doesn't really recognize this is crazy. It's because with the parented connected, or because of the in AutoIK there is no transform in local coordinates for this bone actually, because it's following this one. So when I'm posing here, I'm not actually moving, I'm transforming world space for this bone but not local space, and this doesn't transfer for bone constraints. It's nothing. This is why this doesn't work no matter what, unless I did something like that, but then I will start to have something horrible with double transforms, right, like this. So this is not especially if this bone is parented something else, so this doesn't, unfortunately doesn't work. It's a very inconsistent setup. So here we because I'm posed this with AutoIK, so, and because this bone is not parented to here, so is there another way to solve this? I think not. The positioning, right, will never it's very interesting problem. But the copy location worked because this works in world space. So maybe we need to do this on pose space. Which will make this weird alignment. Okay, and then we end up with the same problem, except that now we have little rotation. But okay, it's this can work, or maybe it's subtle, right? Maybe it's, yeah, this is actually very dangerous, and this becomes F key. That's why we have a big trouble here. Okay, so maybe this is actually, all this is not a good idea in the end. So this is very wild things, so possibly we need to, yeah, we need to not use these chains are just too complicated to handle. So if we use this, however, we might be able to get more consistent results. Those curve nets that we see on Rigify, the facial rig, the upgraded facial rig, and also Cloud Rig, I think, all those concepts, they are not necessarily supposed to be used with AutoIK option, I believe. So this is why this will be very tricky to be, I think it's possible to that we find a good setup, but it's not, it's really very tricky to find anything that would be consistent on all poses, right? So anyways, we are going to get the more conventional stuff going on, right? So we're gonna get this bone here, we're gonna snap to face, yes, we at this point we can hide this, we're gonna snap this to try to maintain the logic here. Okay, this one we're gonna snap, oh yeah, also try to put them in the joints. the vertexes, right? Yeah, we're gonna make 3 bones for this. We see that this one is not exactly on the joint. I'm gonna fix that. GX, GY, no, GZ, GY, so it doesn't get off the center. Okay, then we're gonna bring this. So we're gonna change these names already. Now let's finish this. So we're gonna Control F2 these ones, B for bones. So instead of skirt left, we're gonna call them skirt front left, and we're going to strip characters. Then we're gonna do again strip characters, whatever is called. So symmetrizing is better to do in the end, because skirt, whatever is skirt right, becomes from skirt right. Alright, that should have, because they have this parenting relation, so see, that fixed everything. So now we can probably copy this and this, Shift D, reset these roles. Actually, let's reset these roles. I've not aligned the roles with the normals, no problem here. This doesn't need, maybe if we do some bone constraints, then maybe that will be good, but for now, no. So we're gonna snap here, snap here, snap probably this will be here, and then finally here. Then we're gonna Alt R. Then we're going to okay, that sounds good. We're gonna hide this. Okay, tempting, right? Let's do the auto waves here. I don't think I can isolate this mesh, but we're gonna try. Yeah, actually from here. Wave pane mode. So this is a non-deformed bone. While all this should be deformed bones, except for this. Okay. Alright, now we can try to, yeah, I'm gonna pick this, select all, assign automatic. Okay, having these crashes regularly when I do this kind of operation for some reason. Okay, now it works. But horrible waves, we're gonna just fix by smoothing. This one didn't get any waves, so we're gonna Okay, so in principle, let's see what happens. Did we get, yeah, we have a lot of wrong waves, so that didn't protect. Very important, so masking doesn't, hiding mesh doesn't protect. Maybe I needed to hide and also mask. This is the worst. We're just gonna expand the waves out there. Oh, this is even worse. Alright, so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna pick this this thing here. This will be our new mask. Actually, let's simplify. This is better. We don't need the mask. We'll be easily swapping bones here, so we can just blur here and change and blur. Right, very important to do good smoothing here. We got invert. It's not necessarily wrong, but it can cause some issues. So the mirrored bones have waves on the opposite side. Okay, now this is probably fixed. Here also it occurs on these ones. Actually, this was not the opposite side, so it's not so terrible. This is. Alright, maybe we'll revise that, but for now what we need is go on pose mode, take off this axis. Alright, so we are going to select the mesh again. We're gonna, yeah, I think this thing. Yes, this is the last vertices, if ever. So they should have very, very smooth waves. Yeah, there we go. So I need to complete the task here. Here we can have some waves. These bones are just confusing me. This is better. We can augment waves here, why not? We're gonna use a... Yeah, I know, manual waves. It's not that hard in this kind of... yeah, here we're gonna leave. Because it will normalize itself, the ratios, so we don't need to, like, it doesn't, probably know that, we don't need to maximize waves here, right? As long as there are no rogue waves from other crazy parts of the rig, other, yeah, rogue waves elsewhere, that should be fine. So I think this is okay for this. Alright, then here we can probably get some influence there. Wait, this is the top. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, so we're gonna just get these waves. The center one, yeah, why not? Let's get. This will probably will probably be beneficial for smoothing. And here we don't want this extrapolation. We can of course test and when we transfer waves from the body, that should even get cleaner because they won't substitute this, they will be built on top of this. Maybe we can delete this even, or reduce this a lot by smoothing them. Not sure. Now smoothing with extend, right? I'm not sure. Possibly it will depend. Yeah. So, I don't know, I have a trauma with skirt rig. Here I believe this is not good, so I'm gonna do this and re-blur. Yeah. This. Here, yes, we can get all this influence here, okay. Yeah, I'm comparing what did I do for each kind. Okay, so sounds logical, and this one is the top. The top doesn't have stuff in the bottom, so yeah, the top don't get these ones. Why am I able to paint on the... Very weird. Individual origins. You see, Auto IK still works on wave paint mode because it's with pose mode, right? In it. The waves are not real good for this mesh, but we also need subdivision, so this bone maybe it's a bit too large. We'll just use a chain of 2 here. So you see, we don't move the top one too much. Maybe we could do something here. Not sure this will work. Oh, this works for AutoIKEY. It's the stiffness, right? So go mount stiffness. They are much stiffer now, so we can have them influenced, but very stiff. So you see, they move much less, and we could actually get these ones to have I don't did the mirrored ones. Okay, so we can have all these ones to have like stiffness of 0.5. Hold Alt. So now I have this gradual setup. So this is just for AutoIKEY, because there are no other inverse kinematics for this. So you see, we can actually have this posed in an interesting manner. This one is different, so I think we don't care. Yeah, they are different, although not so different. So we're gonna actually, let's do 0.8, and here .2. Didn't work. For some I'm not using, no. Okay, let's just symmetrize then. Okay, and so now we have also this there. Probably would benefit if we change some features here for these bones, like we're gonna change these colors, their size, bone length. Actually, yeah, these ones we're gonna make them. Okay, just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Shift Control X, mirror extend, select mirror. Then gonna change their color to, could be this one. Gonna make them very thin, and same thing here. We're gonna okay, this one is less important, but it has the same principle, so I don't know what to do here. Let's just leave like this. Not enough colors to play with. So Something I've messed up. No, it's because the cloth for this doesn't appear. Okay. So let's see here what we can achieve. Okay. Oh, physics, right? They have physics. They don't have collisions though, and this is the problem. So if we can manage to make good collisions here, that will be the way to go, except that this is very costly for animation, for posing, but I think we can try something like, do they all have physics? We'll have to investigate that. Alright, so apparently we don't have physics for all of them. Like this has bone tail physics, yes, just on the tail, this is correct. This is replicated here. These are new, so they will just copy settings. Copy settings. No, did wrong. Okay, let's these ones don't have bone physics, these ones also not. These ones have, and it should be equivalent, so we're gonna select all. These ones don't have. We're gonna pick this bone and copy settings to, actually not this one, and select this, copy this is the active. I don't like these namings here, so we're gonna, instead of FD, FT. Okay, so actually here, and this, instead of BD, it's backward, we can back. This has wrong, so instead of, forgot to change, instead of front, back. This just side, this front, correct. Alright, and these are just skirt bend. Alright, now yeah, we could, for posing, this should be enough, right? Actually, in terms of skirt rigging, right? Because we have control now of, for animation, this is nightmarish, right? But for posing, this is just good enough. And we can employ physics, right? For, if we keyframe, we can also control you see, I can pose real time. Even with auto IQ option, it's crazy. Laggish, but crazy. So, collisions, let's try some collisions here. But I don't, oh, okay, we can try just the collision objects. So let's see if I'm lucky this time. We're gonna make some very gross objects here, so they'll be proxy mesh. We could actually use an entire block of proxy objects, a single object, right? Or not, I'm not sure, but we're gonna get a proxy thigh, and this is very so it will be something like a cube. And this is what is so confusing about those things, is because, well, where it is here, okay, but we need to Okay, so we got this object. We're gonna also employ a mirror modifier for this. We don't want a subdivision modifier, so subdivision surface modifier, just want a very gross, stupid mesh. To sort of follow the shape of the leg. Would that even be enough, or should I extrude this and make something different? Yeah, then we have the problem of the, yeah, there's lacking of subdivisions, right? So probably I'll need to do something about this, so let's make this one here. So with this we can sort of have something more responsive, but to be fair, in Blender with this add-on I really don't know how if this is a good idea. I've tried many times and I was never satisfied with the results. Oh, this is wrong. Then of course there is the deforming mesh, right? That will make everything like this becomes even more difficult. If the mesh starts to lose volume, right? It's very confusing, but proxy meshes can be very good for exactly rigging. I'm intending to use some of this because these ideas because well, the skirt doesn't need to collide inside, but I think it still needs to be a cube anyways. So you see we have this with just text info statistics. So it has 20 faces, really? Yeah, because there's the opposite side, right? Okay, so just 20 face, just 20 face. We're gonna actually create a new thing which will be colliders. And so this will be skirt colliders. So we're gonna put this inside. We're gonna also use this yellowish color to yeah, we should probably use this. Alright. Proxy face, colliders. This we're gonna make into a wireframe mesh. We're not gonna parent it. Yeah, we need to parent it to the armature, so we're gonna actually armature modifier, then we're gonna I'm gonna parent armature deform, yeah. Or it could be bone, but let's skip this. This is fine. We're gonna probably move it manually. We might have to pose the bone itself. Yeah, let's do some trick here to simplify this. We're gonna bring the skeleton. This is the type. This is, what is this extra type? Ah, this will be a mechanism bone. Yeah, this is another setup. Okay, we're going to use the def thigh, of course, as the wave paint for this thing. Shift control that. No, this and the armature. Then we isolate them. We're gonna select this. Then if this is correct, I could just do this, right? And this bone is locked. Yeah, so it's okay. We are gonna just get, we don't need this skeleton anymore for now, but we need this skeleton here. Okay, so you see that we can move this the collider, right? And the collider doesn't deform in a, it doesn't have volume loss issues. Or wait, it actually has volume. No, because it's a single wave, so it's ballistic rotation. Yeah, so no, it doesn't have any skinning issue. It's just a hard surface rigging, right? So we can probably here. Okay, so we're gonna use this object here, skirt collision. We're gonna bring for these bones, all of them, actually this one has a color that is just being wrong here. We're gonna just leave it as a mechanism bone, right? So we're gonna select this, extend groups by color, and this. Alright, now I have other wrong bones. Yeah. Okay, let's isolate this. Now we are gonna, yeah, let's get a we go to Addon bone physics collider example. Yeah, so this might not work sufficiently. Well, you might have to go back in a few minutes. So you see, when I started to make this collision colliders collection, a proxy mesh, then change into a wireframe, all that, and then I've made this object, which is just a wireframe object like this. It's a cube, right? But it has face, but it's displaying as wire. So this will be the collider proposal for the wiggle bones here. My experience with this is horrible, but I'm trying to, so the colliders mesh objects must be very, very simple, but I can't make them very simple because the mesh is complex. So I just added a few more. So this has, this with the other side have just 20 faces. So maybe that would be, you see, I didn't even made a cut here in the middle, just a cut on the longitudinal, you can say like that. And I didn't make a pose here, a keyframe, so for animation, so just doing this. You see that it doesn't deform the leg, that's okay. We can use this proxy mesh for reference of anatomic, not this one is too crude, but we could have an anatomic leg, just a proxy mesh, duplicate, separated, right? Duplicated, separated mesh, so we can have the leg deformed ballistically, right? And then we can use this as a reference for a more sophisticated joint rig. In this case it will be a hip thigh joint, right? The pelvis rigging. But okay, so this proxy mesh helps. A proxy mesh that will be more organic will help way more to know where the volume are being lost. So this will improve correction. But here the purpose is different. So probably for that one I would have another proxy mesh just for the reference of the wave paint. Anyways, now this was another process of the rig. So here is, we want this skirt to collide. So these all bones here, we're gonna bring them to animation, wiggle 2. So they have all this bone tail, right? So we are going to add collisions by object. In this case it's just one simple, so it's just this skirt. We don't need hold alt here because it's wiggle to Addon, it doesn't need, so everything, so check, it has. So is that sufficient? Well, radius 0, friction, bounce apparently is sticky, so we'll see what that does, and probably it's not doing very well, right? So probably need to do something about, let's augment the radius, and this goes crazy. Let's reduce the bounce to 0. Let's do again this. Alright, so apparently we can't. So this is okay, friction, I don't know, let's augment friction, reset this. So maybe it needs a little bounce, I'm not sure. Sticky. Reset here. Something weird happened to the, as if I did that to the hair as well. Yeah, looks like we did a terrible mistake. Now everything is, I don't know how this happened. Could be a bug. I didn't order the oh, now all the bones. No, it can be okay. I'm gonna load here because this sounds a horrible thing to, and my Blender crash. So I hope I haven't assigned those No, I haven't assigned yet. Okay, so let's yeah, let's just delete these ones. They are not for yeah, this is Dorothy stuff. We will just delete this. What's happened to her? Oh, just something here. Alright, let's do this again. Reset on. Okay, something is weird. These bones are not reset. Okay, reset physics. No. Okay, so something weird already is happening here that I just do not seem to be able to reset. Alright, this seems to be completely closing and reopening Blender. It's not my shortcut that, yeah, I'm resetting clear pose transforms, right? So apparently my Addon goes nuts here. This does reset. Physics are working. It looked like they were baked in some way, but there's no keyframes, right? Maybe I need, it's something. Yeah, I need to repose them and no. They seem to be have been frozen, and that happens when we bake the oh well. So it's like it likes its new rest pose, right? It doesn't want to go back. So maybe I should report this to even when I turn this on off. I can pose them here, right? They are not locked. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna ignore this. We're gonna continue doing the the collision stuff. So you see that happened when I made this collision, so it's probably a lot of collision bugs. The add-on, at least in this version, seems to be going nuts. So we are going to, okay, we're gonna just keyframe this at once so that at least we don't care about this bone collection anymore. It's just it's just annoying me too much. So gonna do this, right? So you have this, at least this little motion. We can now hide this thing. We're just gonna deal with these ones. It happens also when I deleted this bone from the... Alright, now it's gonna save. We're gonna try to bring these bones here to target the skirt collision. And things go crazy, right? And you see, other bones want to have the collision. I didn't select them. They have probably the mirror modifier, so I'm just gonna delete that. I don't know. Also, let's just do this. Take off the subdivision. And now the physics are... No, they're yeah, the physics are gone. Okay, this is going even worse. They are not reacting at all, right? Of course, they don't, it's not the time of the collision yet. Okay, so let's try again. Oh, I need to copy to selected apparently. Okay. And then you see something happens that all bones. It's like everything is selected here, even though this is not a collection of the physics bones, right? So it's like they inherited the now yeah, you see there's creepy. So no, they didn't inherit it, but something went like completely wrong. That's why I probably will not advise using this this setup here for, yeah, wiggle bones is okay, but not the collision system. And we want here maybe to do something. Maybe we can use collection instead. Yeah, this is super annoying, right? Colliders. Maybe here we have better result. No, it's the same trouble, and we messed up everything anyway. So no, this is a no thing. Until it gets fixes, we cannot use this. And then of course there is this problem with that. So this collider, no, we're not gonna use for this purpose. And we will still have to find a way to solve this this physics here that are not resetting. Oh, hold on. What was that? Apparently I just had some. Okay, it's not a bug actually. One thing was not a bug. It was not resetting because there was a hidden bone here which was carrying the. Yeah, probably something here. Alright, so so I'm not gonna use the collision system of wiggle to Addon, which leaves us with one remaining possibility of fixing, well, many remaining possibilities. I could use cloud physics, but that I don't use. So instead we can combine these simulations with we can combine the simulation with those setups in which the deform rig holds some sort of actually we would use this target. I don't know what it has. Copy transforms deform tie. Yes, so it needs to have so this is super important. Took me years to find out. Actually, not years, but yeah, a lot of confusion. So I knew something about it, but it just wasn't clear enough in my theoretically. So the parent of the mechanism bone needs to be the same of its deform bone in this case. So this is a mechanism bone for certain automations, and it was here gigantic just to, so we want the same parent here, which is the control thigh. So in this way it will inherit the same parenting relation pathway of transforms. So it will mimic this, because the parent is not it, it is the same parent of it, but it's not itself. So we don't parent it to here, we parent it mimicking the parenting of the deformed bone. So in this way, and then we can have the copy transforms bone constraint, full transforms, right, pose space, could be a word space, and now this bone is good to go for the automations for helper rig, helper deform rig if you want. So now I can use this as a mapper for because this deformed bone will be moved, posed indirectly for the most part in this rig. So this is why the pathways matters so much. It's super complicated because we don't see the pathway. We have to abstract, right? We have to understand the rig. So now these bones here, they can follow this. So we can do something about this now. For example, I can pick this mechanism leg. We don't need this anymore. Well, for knowing where things are, maybe. So we can maybe get this to use a, this is risky, but we can start by doing some copy transforms on local space before, so additive. This doesn't work, of course, because we need to have a custom space. We want the head to tilt, so this will actually be custom space. Just copy paste this, and oh no, I'm doing the, sorry folks, it's the opposite. No? Hold on. Is this bone constraint already to anything? No. Alright, so no, of course it's because the head is not moving, but it should at least follow the rotations, right? Alright, so this is not working as I expected. Okay, so sorry, we need to take this off. We can just try the copy rotation then, or just a pure copy transforms. Will do this, right? Local space, local space. It's interesting, right? It doesn't seem to. This one we don't use. So yeah, so this is not so. Okay, so in this case, copy rotation. So this is not working for some reason. this sort of works, but we could reduce the influence. Okay, so we can see potential in this. Then we're gonna, for this one on the basis, we're gonna yeah, it's actually just this and this and this and this, because then we need to do in the okay, I see what we need to do. So you're gonna pick just these ones and you're gonna Shift Alt C that. Alright, we have a requirement of some, oh yeah, this automation will have this problem there, right? They are following the yeah, so this is an anatomical problem, right? So this is why maybe copy, well, you could use just for the yeah, the transformation bone constraint might be the case here, just like the thigh rigging. So now this is causing very bad what's happening there? There seems to be something terribly wrong with the model. Is it just like that? Yeah, maybe it's just like that. So still not and then the physics should do the rest if okay, then we're gonna symmetrize. This will symmetrize the bone constraint, right? So you see, this is not horrible. It's limited, but it's not horrible. We can get something. It will be easier to see if the legs were rigged already. So the problem is the inversion, right? So this bone cannot have this kind of nor deforms there, this kind of influence, and nor can it have this go back like in this mechanical way. It's too bad. So this is why we might have to either change this. Yeah, we can change a lot this, but in principle we could also also there is a problem here for this one, which is that we'll have to additive. Okay, then we do the same for okay, so we get some additive stuff for the middle. Some would use the technique with armature bone constraint, but then you have to disrupt the parenting, which I don't like. usually. So just for the central bones here in this case. So you want to reduce the center influence apparently by a lot. And since the rest of the bones of the skirt, they will have physics and they are following by parenting, right? This is why I'm not really considering the something is wrong here. Again, this is probably some okay, when did I apply transforms for no, this is this add, of course, before original, maybe. No, so this is one of those tricky problems with same problem. No, this is a different. This bone is not moving, but it's clearly these bone constraints that are. They seem to immediately affect the. Okay, so yeah, because these are replace, actually very dangerous. Another mistake here. I'm not getting very good at this management of these bone constraints today for some reason. So yeah, pose space, of course, this is the problem. It will stack with the orientation of the bone, I guess. So what was the case? It was replace on pose space. Yeah, the same idea, right? Yeah, I'm not confirmed. So there is another way that would be like a... We'd have to add bones that would map the reference of the type mesh. This is a tutorial Pyrrhic because logged in some so something like that. I don't know that I never replicated the tutorial, but it's relatively simple. What I'm doing here would be something more abstract and different, but the other idea is good actually. So it's like we could have also we could try a dump track, for example. To the mechanism, no, armature, tail, yeah, the tail, and then we, yeah, along the, but with lower, okay, of course it's trying to map not exactly the good position. Let's for a moment take off the physics from the scene, and so you see that might also work. It's just that I would need also to have for that mechanism bone some reference of the... So the idea of having those mapper bones is actually interesting, right? So that we'll return to the idea of that tutorial. Then we could have limit distance, so that can mimic the effect of a transformation bone constraint. So maybe that is, yeah, I think that's a good setup. So we could, for example, now that I have this mechanism bone, I can just have some extra mini bones here around it, like so. This could be actually cloth bones. We're gonna align like here. We're gonna use along normal, and here we need to match the model sheet, the character design, right? So we're gonna move this to costume, right? Then we shift D, we want to map, yeah, this the mesh, the distance there doesn't, if they are aligned between themselves is not super important. What is important is that they match the, I believe they match the mesh. And then also we could use many more of them, but I think to start with this should be good enough. So we're gonna call them Ctrl F2, set name, so map thigh, yeah, skirt, thigh, collider. We're gonna reduce them, bring them maybe this color here. We're going to make them smaller. We're going to parent them to the mechanism type. We can also symmetrize them. No, they are not. Yeah, so they need suffix L. So this will be front, this will be back, this will be left, no, this will be out, and this will be in. Yes. Alright, and now we can probably use this as a target for example, this Numpad track, or we could. And so because the Numpad track is affecting the tail, this parented bone doesn't matter, right? It's not like it is. The problem if you use this on a bone that is child, it's not the case. This has no direct parenting relation to this, or indirect, so it's safe to do this. And then we can yeah, so the other tutorial, so now we can if we bring the master skeleton, so if we do here, we see that the Numpad track has this interesting feature, right, that it goes on all directions. So it's intuitively I thought this, yeah, this it doesn't give limit, right, as the limit distance, but it's sort of solid in what regards the diagonals, right? So this is super cool. And copy rotation could do, but Numpad track here might be even better, I think. And there's another thing. Okay, maybe I could still, yeah, it still responds to posing. There's a little thing there. No, there's a problem. Yeah, so actually that bone should not be this one, I see. So here we'll have to do this as a mechanical one, like we're gonna grab all this, yeah, actually so this is a problem of the Numpad track, or actually, so what we're gonna do instead is that we're going to with this bone selected, right, Shift D, we're gonna make this the mechanisms, right, Ctrl F2, so instead of find replace, so instead of def6 for cloth is the mechanism, and we're gonna change their colors. They probably have the same parents, yes. We're gonna get rid of all the bound constraints, because we're gonna use instead Control C, copy selected constraints, dump track, right? This, now we can pick all of this again, and Shift Control Alt C, delete all the. But now what we're gonna do is that we're gonna change these parenting relations. So now this bone is free to move, you see, through auto IK option, and this is the sort of a buffer bone, just the parenting stuff. Yeah, it holds the. So this is a typical technique for offsetting inverse kinematic thing, offsetting the deform rig from the inverse kinematics pathway of transforms. They are very specific pathways of transforms. It's different from, it interacts, but it's not this. Yeah, it's a different pathway in some way. I can't explain, I don't know for sure, but here, but internally it is separated thing. It has higher hierarchy. Alright, so get this, and then we can probably, and if we can, yeah, we could still pose it manually, but we have this one, right? So we don't need to. It could even have a maximum influence. In this case, it wouldn't matter. So here we can symmetrize this, and the problem, of course, is that we need to match the orientation, right? Because it is. I've got a problem here with the. It changed the original positioning. Yeah, so it sort of needs not to. Yeah, so maybe actually. Let's see. There's a problem of the stretch 2 as well. Okay, maybe a ballistic copy rotation. Hold on. Copy rotation. Oh, that also works, right? And it does the same. Yeah, okay, so copy rotation is the way to go, and not the dump track. So in this way we don't have problems with the oh no, we still, yeah, because it's word space. Unless we have the same alignment, right? But we can just align, right? It's with this, but I think maybe we can use something else here. Okay, now it doesn't follow, right, as expected. but here custom space, I want the pivot point of no, it's the same thing. Yeah, it will affect. So no way to go here. This is just weak. We don't have the maybe we just need to use a bond constraint here. Okay, not reactive, not reactive. Not reactive, yeah, nothing to do here, so and that will change. Yeah, so and now it reacts, but it changed the response. So again, what we're gonna do is just we're just gonna align it as weird as it is. And do the as it was before, I think. This could be this, or it could just be both spaces as well. And this is the diff one. Okay, so I think we are getting somewhere. So now we get let's align this one with this, align this one with this, and as for this one we don't have any proper alignment, so yeah, these ones will have a little problem, but okay, let's symmetrize. Then we're gonna copy this for this, except that we're gonna use the back. Oh, we changed the wrong one. Alright, then we get this one for the side. We're going to out. Oh, there's no collider in, right? This would be maybe for the front there, for this bone maybe. Yeah, we could like Shift D, G, Z. Wait. Yes, because this has left and right. Let's just delete this. We are gonna I was looking with the subdivision. Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, something like this, and then we will align this with this, and then align this with okay, I made a mistake here. So I'm gonna use the same technique here. We'll change this target. Right, so it's followed the leg, so it seems to be safe. And what else? Probably need to symmetrize some stuff here, so just to be sure. Gonna delete this stuff. And yeah, so you see, no need to use physics collisions which collider objects. Just maybe they work good in game engine. In Blender it's like very poor, at least my experience. Maybe it's good on physics, this stuff here, but not for the many. For the add-on there, the use is not very good. So I think this is sufficient. You see, we have very nice posing here, dynamic, and we can also have the we may also use this to pose manually, although we need to readjust the waves right still, and maybe we can have a few more of this, right? Another subdivision, right? But for smoothness, yeah, it sounds a bit too heavy here on the. So you have many ways to control this, and we have the automation. So with a custom rig that is very peculiar, and some problem with resetting. What is that I'm not able to reset here? Wait, I thought I deleted these keyframes already. Okay, some bones are not reset. There? No. Yeah, there are some. It's the I key. Never mind. Something about the. It's weird that is having this offset though. Nothing is different here. So why this is moving like that? It is a parenting relation, mechanism tie. Yeah, you have something about the inverse kinematics. Then it is okay. This is symmetric. This is symmetric. This is symmetric. Just this is going in the. Maybe it's the bone rolls. No. Okay, so I can't find out what's moving it. But it's not. Weird, but okay, that's it, folks. This was long enough. Hope that was interesting in some way. This is nightmares, but we can say that we have completed this skirt rig, custom rig, high heel stand setup, and that took a while, but interesting setup nonetheless. Then one I've never done before, so but you can look for the collider that I mentioned of Pico. It's a good idea. It's this is a bit. It has something in common on the idea that the leg it pushes the some bones, napper bones on the mechanism tie. They push and drag the but there's no variation here from the direction of the leg, so this could be improved if we change maybe the swap those copy rotation bone constraint for something that is not symmetric, that is like asymmetric, like in the case, in some way asymmetric. It's not still like drivers, but it's the transformation bone constraint, so at least we could do something like, okay, if the leg rotates back, then this won't respond exactly the same way as it responded to when the leg rotates forward. So this it will, but it's more time consuming, right? Amazing work, keep up, bro. Moo Arts, welcome, Moo Arts, thanks for the comment. Yeah, so we're gonna continue doing this live stream, indeed, and hope that will be faster and better, more interesting in the near future. This week is chaotic for me, so thanks for surviving the thing. So here, thanks for the presence. So I wasn't able to go for the other rig of Dorothy, but it's already too late, midnight time here, and this will be probably the next topic. So for her, this essentially completed for the what I wanted here. Yeah, so it's just now adapting the facial rig. But yeah, folks, so thanks for watching again. Take care, happy blendering, have a nice week. See ya another day. Feel free to join the stream. Anyways, I'll leave the stream video present online, available, if anyone wants to revise. And look for the highlights in the chat 24 hours after the video has been streamed, and so then there's instruction, right? If there are some highlights, might be interesting for learning purpose, right? Thanks, folks. See you soon, and good luck in your projects.